The light on this camera sucks. Okay. I want to know if anybody has any spooky stories to tell about their childhood. Okay, so I want to start off by telling mine, and this is a true story. Okay, trying to get better lighting. Ah, no, no, no. Oh, this sucks. Okay. So, I'm gonna give this one a test run. If this video is okay, I'm gonna put it on my page. But when I was younger, okay, I used to hear stories all the time about my mom's sister, Lovey, who I am named after. And my aunt Lovey got killed a couple of months before I was born, and I think a week or two before my mom's birthday. And her and my mom was very close, and my mom was pregnant with me. So I used to hear like stories about her. Well, they just would talk about that she was different. She was unique. She had her own style, and she liked to wear her hair, in an afro and comb to the front, and she loved penny loafers. So they used to buy me little penny loafers, and stick the pennies in them. And when they were too small, I would have to pee in them. The old saying of the older folks, they always got something, some technique for something. But my aunt, they just, always would say that she was sweet, and she had her own style, and, she was a fighter. So, the story was, of her passing. I don't want to, hurt my family and stuff like that, no disrespect for, this right here, but, it's something that I need to talk about. So, I got the name because she and my mother were close, and she was killed like a couple of weeks before my mom had me, and my mom was 17, had turned 17 when she had me. My aunt passed at 17. So I don't want to get all into that part, about what happened to her and how she died. But my mom named me Lovey. And her name was Lovey Mae Fletcher, and my name is Lovey Demetri Fletcher. So when I was little, we stayed in this house in Oak Cliff, and my grandma was there, and I remember this older lady there, older than my grandma, and she looked like an Indian, and she had white hair and an apron, and she always carried a little pistol. And those were the two that stood out the most to me. But I was with my grandma a lot, and I saw a lot of things in that house. There are a lot of other things going on, and we're going to get to those stories too. But this is one of the beginning times. So I would, I remember like them partying a lot, and the having their little late night um, kicking it gatherings or whatever. They danced a lot. My uncle played drums in the living room or whatever. And I remember just being up in the middle of them. And everybody would, fall asleep in the living room. So that's where I would be. So I remember there was this hole in the front door because we had one of them old doors with the blocks in them. The old wood doors with the rectangular blocks in them. And the bottom one had been kicked out. So I remember this particular night I had woke up. And I think I was maybe about 3 or 4 because I wasn't in school yet. And this is crazy that I can remember something back so far away, but I was maybe like 3 or 4. And when I looked up, I saw like a bunch of things hovering over my head. And I mean, like, I'm a kid, so I'm looking like, I'm just staring. I really, couldn't say anything because, they kind of look like different, spirits floating over my head. Like Casper, but like different colors and stuff like that. So just to know that I wasn't tripping and that it wasn't a dream, I want to say God allowed me to see a lot of cats to come in. And a cat came through the door, that had been kicked out. And it came in, and they're nocturnal and they can see in the dark. So it just walked around and it looked up at everything that I was seeing the same way that I was looking up at it. And then it walked over to me and it just opened its eyes real big like it does. And that image just like stays in my mind all the time, that I used to see those things floating around the house and at night. And I kind of wondered if I saw that because of me being named after my mom's sister who had passed away. So I had another incident to where I was in trouble. My mom used to whoop my butt a lot. And every time she would whoop me, she would put me in her room, and she would lay me on her bed. And when she would leave out, I lay there crying, butt sore and stinging. And all of a sudden, the curtain would move because it was, the window was up. But the curtain would move and brush across my face. And the bed would go down as if something was sitting on it. And I would be so terrified. I would just lay there with my eyes closed, because I was a little bitty girl. And it'd just, I could hear something speaking to me, telling me not to be afraid and that I was all right. And after I calmed down and stopped crying and realized that it was something there, the bed will raise up again. You know, as if someone was getting up and the curtain will blow in the opposite direction as it was leaving out the room, out the window. And that happened to me on several occasions. And I just wonder, you know, all the time, you know, was it her? Because I have a lot of things that happen that are unexplained, and I see a lot of things still, and I just wonder. And I want to know, like, you know, if that happened to any of you guys, you know, I want to talk about it. So you could leave me a comment or something below. That'd be so cool. I'm just now learning how to do this, or getting the idea to do this. And so I'm going to be making a couple of videos until I get better and find out what I want to look like and what I want my setting and stuff to be. So that was one of the things that I wanted to talk about. And see if anyone else could relate. So those were my stories, my ghost stories. Bye.